Hello Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Capricorn, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Capricorn, let's get started. How does Capricorn currently view this relationship? All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on. All right, Capricorn, so we do have the Page of Cups, we do have the King of Swords, we do have the Four of Cups, and then we also have the Lovers out here. I feel like this is your energy, okay? For some of you, by the way, you might have Cancer within your chart. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, so, but it looks like you're receiving communication here from someone. And it could be from a water sign. It could be from a Gemini specifically, possibly an Aquarius, but I am getting an energy of somebody wanting to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you, but it kind of looks like you're not interested in having a heart-to-heart conversation with this person. I just feel like there's a lot that this person wants to get off their chest to you, but it kind of looks like you don't really care what this individual over here has to say to you. Page of Cups could also represent an apology. So this person could very well be apologizing to you possibly for something that they said, something that they did. But again, your energy remains the same. It kind of looks like you don't really care for an apology from this person, let alone a heart-to-heart conversation with them. I do want to get a rough idea of what's going on with you first before I look a little bit more into this person, so that way I know what's going on with you. So let's look at the Four of Cups really quickly here. Tell me more about the Four of Cups for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Ooh. With the Six of Cups coming out here in the with the Six of Cups coming out here in the reverse, that's kind of telling me that you didn't necessarily have the best of history with this one over here. Your relationship with this person could have been very toxic and very unhealthy. I am getting that. But with the Knight of Pentacles coming out here in the reverse, as far as pouring time and energy towards them in this dynamic here between the two of you, it does appear to me that that's something that you never want to do ever again. With the Six of Cups coming out here in the reverse, this could also imply that history kept repeating itself within this dynamic here between the two of you. So you may have found yourself experiencing the same thing with this one over here over and over and over and over again. So maybe this person refused to change. Then again, a King of Swords is somebody who is very fixed in their ways, believe it or not. It's kind of like the classic saying, what you see is what you get. So, I mean, it makes sense as to why history was constantly repeating itself within this relationship that you once upon a time had with this person. But let's look at this person a little bit more, shall we? How does this person currently view this relationship? How does this person currently view this relationship? Interesting. This person's lying to people. This person's lying to people, like close family members and close friends. Like, I'm getting an energy of them like telling people close to them, like, oh yeah, Capricorn, psh, I'm so done with them, it's not even funny. Like, I will never, okay, like never, I mean never run back to them ever again. Like, nah, I'm done with them. Like, I'm moving on with my life. Like, I'm so done with them, it's not even funny. Well, it don't look like it. It don't look like it. It don't look like it. Okay. I want to look at the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Let's do that, shall we? Tell me more about the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. These people kind of come across to me as like, you know, close like friends. Possibly, you know, even family members, you know, that's definitely, you know, a possibility. It kind of looks like the only person that's actually done here is you, not necessarily them. Because it looks like ever since this tower moment occurred here between, you know, you and this person, you know, you've been leaving them alone. You're like the cool ex, in other words. You know, when a relationship comes to an end, you just, you know how to leave people alone for the rest of your life. Something that this person clearly doesn't know how to do. But yeah, you do appear to me as somebody who's definitely done with them. I'm also getting that this person's like family members and friends are also under the impression that you are 100% done with them and want absolutely nothing to do with them. It does appear to me that you kicked this person, you know, out of your life. for some of you, you could have definitely shared like a home with this person. I am definitely getting that. So it does, appear to me that you kicked this person out of, the home that maybe you guys once upon a time shared with one another, or maybe you left, whatever have you. But here's the thing though. I feel like everybody knows that you're done with them. I just kind of feel like people are trying to figure out like the King of Swords. Like, are you done? Are you done with Capricorn? Like, are you sure you done? Like, it has that type of feel to it. Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like the only person that's really, really done here is you, not necessarily them. But let's just keep going and let's just kind of see where the wind takes us here, okay? How does Capricorn currently feel? We have the Three of Cups. We also have the Lovers. And then we also have the Nine of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the interesting Queen of Cups, and then we also have the Six of Cups. Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? As to why this person wants you back in their life. And it also makes sense as to why you don't want them back in yours. Let's talk, okay? It appears to me that you brought a lot of good into this person's life, according to this individual that's extending themselves to you. They do feel like you are somebody who really did love them and, cared for them deeply. I wouldn't necessarily say that the feeling is essentially mutual. Like, when you look at this person, you don't look at this person as somebody who loved you, somebody who cared about you. No, you look at this person as somebody who brought a lot of turmoil into your life, as well as a lot of trauma into your life. We did get the Six of Cups in the reverse, which is not necessarily a good sign. That's telling me that you didn't have the best of history with this person whatsoever. I kind of feel like it kind of got to that point where you started to become, and this is a very strong word to use, to just, but I'm going to say it anyways. I am definitely getting that over time you started to become, I'm going to say it, disgusted with this person. You also started to despise this person. Like, it got to a point where you couldn't even stand being around this human being, is kind of what I'm getting. But anyways, so yeah, it just kind of looks like this person wants you back. Moral of the story. It just kind of looks like this person wants to patch things up with you. It just kind of looks like they want you back in their life all over again. Let's look at the Nine of Swords. Tell me more about the Nine of Swords. Six of Swords in the reverse. That's telling me that this one over here has a very difficult time, okay, moving forward and moving on with their life. And it's primarily because this person doesn't want to, but it's also kind of stemming from a place of them essentially feeling like they're never going to find someone like you ever again. I mean, this is somebody that you were very much so in love with. This is somebody that you catered to. This is somebody that you devoted, a lot of your time and energy, towards. This is somebody who clearly knows, that you really, really did love them and you really, really did care about them and that you would do anything for them. And they know that they're never going to find, that type of love anywhere else, nor do they even want to bother to try, is kind of what I'm also getting. Okay. Let's see what else. You also have the Moon in the reverse. I'm getting a lot of sadness. A lot of sadness off of that energy. Interesting. We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy, by the way. And then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. Ever since this breakup, divorce, split, whatever have you happened between you and this person, I feel like life for you has gotten better and better and better, but life for them has gotten worse and worse and worse. They just kind of feel stuck, stagnant, lost, sad, depressed. I'm also getting scared, but that fear that I'm picking up on from this person has a lot to do with, the fear of basically losing you for good. And I think that this person, is definitely under the impression that they may have just lost you in their relationship with you for good, but they're not entirely sure just yet. Hence why they're taking it upon themselves to extend themselves to you, apologize to you, and attempt to try to fix or repair things here with you. Depending on how you respond and react towards this person will determine, to them if you're really, really done with them or not. Obviously, they're hoping that, that's obviously not the case. But Capricorn, if I had to bet my last dollar on how all of this is going to play out, I don't see you wanting to get back with this one over here. The fact that you don't have the best of history with this person, the fact that you find yourself doing 10 times better without this individual in your life, I just don't foresee you going back to this person. On top of that, I don't feel like there is any sort of emotional attachment that you have towards this person anymore. I think that given everything that this person has put you through, I think that this one over here gave you 99 reasons to not love them and or care about them. So I do believe that you've already emotionally and mentally, and more than likely physically, have detached yourself from this entire situation that you once upon a time had with this individual. So like I said, it makes sense as to why they want you back, and it also makes sense as to why you don't want this one over here back. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. How does this person currently feel? So we have the Two of Cups. Okay, so this is kind of reiterating what I just said. You know, this person has enough life experience to basically know that they're not going to find what they once upon a time had with you out there in the real world. They know. They know. Hence why they don't even want to bother. Hence why they don't even want to attempt to try. I find it to be very fascinating that as this person is over here trying to get back with you, they're kind of telling, you know, everybody, you know, close to them how done they are with you. I'm not entirely sure why they would even do that. I don't know what that's all about, but this is that type of person, man, that if, let's just say hypothetically speaking, which I highly doubt that's ever going to happen, but let's just say hypothetically speaking, the two of you were to get back together, this is that type of person that will run and tell like their family members and their friends, oh yeah, you know, Capricorn, they came running after me, begging for me back, and you know, I felt bad, so I took them back. Like they would do some type of shit like that. They would. This is that type of person that has a boatload of ego and pride, by the way. So with that being said, that's that type of stuff that this person will turn around and basically do. Like they'll turn around and make it seem like you were the one that desperately wanted them back. You were the one that, you know, came crawling back to them. Meanwhile, it appears to me that this one over here is the one that's crawling back to you, not the other way around. Okay. What actions will Capricorn take towards this person or moving forward? When it comes down to this individual, and honestly, I'm not surprised, but when it comes down to this individual, your mind is essentially made up. You're not revisiting this connection between you and this individual ever again. You're very determined to leave the past in the past. And it makes sense as to why, you know, you're very determined to leave the past in the past. You find yourself doing 10 times better without this person, and you're not trying to compromise your peace and your sanity, your growth, and your expansion to revisit this dynamic all over again. We have the Tower out here, for crying out loud. The Tower is linked to the Devil, which could represent a very toxic and unhealthy relationship. And I am definitely getting that you did have a very toxic and unhealthy relationship with this person. So it doesn't really make any sort of logical sense for you to run back to the very thing that destroyed you, to the very thing that hurt you. I'm also getting that, and disappointed you. It just doesn't make any logical sense. What actions will this person take? Here we go. We have the Knight of Wands. We also have the Hierophant, and then we also have the Three of Pentacles out here. Okay. In regards to how this person plans on moving forward, this person does legit think that if the two of you were to just have a conversation, that it'll change absolutely everything here between the two of you, is what I'm gathering. In other words, this person thinks that if the two of you are able to talk, chances are the two of you will more than likely end up getting back together. Now, do I think that a conversation is going to change absolutely anything here between the two of you, especially your mind? Absolutely not. But in their head, they firmly believe, you know, that if the two of you could just have a conversation, you know what I mean? The two of you can totally work this out and, you know, come back together and be one big happily family, one big happy family is kind of what I'm getting. But at this point, I kind of feel like this person has definitely pushed you to that point of no return, okay? And I think that very, very soon, they're going to not only realize that, but also be forced to accept that, Okay. Now here's the thing when it comes down to this individual that you find yourself connecting with. They harness emperor-like energy. So when an emperor sees something that they want, they're very determined to get it, right? They don't really care about the obstacles that are being thrown in their direction. They don't care about all of that. They're still determined to get what it is that they want, which is basically you and from the looks of it, a reconciliation with you. Now, even though we see this person trying to talk to you and they're not really getting anywhere with you, even though we do see this person trying to get back into your good graces, but they're not really getting anywhere with you, they're going to eventually hit this very, very desperate state. I am definitely getting that. And this person might try to do something extremely dramatic. I am definitely getting that. Okay. So this person, you know, might say something along the lines of, you know, Capricorn, you know, I just can't live without you. You know, there's just no point of me living, Capricorn, if I don't have you. Like, this person might go as far as to say something dramatic, you know, in hopes that it pulls at your heartstrings, in hopes that, you know, it prompts you to feel bad enough for them to run back to them. So they might either say something extremely dramatic or do something extremely dramatic. Like, this person might pop up at your house, you know, just bawling, and begging for you to basically take them back. Like, this person's going to do something very dramatic very, very soon, but it's stemming from a place of, well, if I show up at Capricorn's house just bawling my eyes out, you know, maybe they'll feel bad and maybe they'll take me back. Or maybe if I tell Capricorn that I just can't live without them and there's no point in me living, and, you know, if they refuse to take me back, maybe they'll feel bad for me and maybe they'll take me back. Now, this person could show up at your house bawling their eyes out. They can sit here and say, oh my God, Capricorn, if I just don't have you, you know, there's just no point in me living. Do I think that it's going to work? No. Do I think that it's gonna like pull at your heartstrings? Absolutely not. I think that this person still thinks that you're still in love with them. I think that that's kind of the thing. I think that that's the thing here, is that they think that you're still in love with them. So they think that this little stunt that they're about to pull is going to be what causes you to cave in. Now, if you were still in love with this person, then okay, different story. You know what I mean? Like, I could see you feeling bad for this person and then taking this person back, but you're no longer emotionally attached to this person. So they can stand right in front of you and cry a whole freaking river in front of you if they wanted to, and you're not going to feel anything, because you're not attached emotionally to this person anymore like they think you are. So the only reason why they're doing all of this drastic stuff here in the near future is because they think you're still in love with them, and they think that it's going to get them the outcome that they basically want out of you, which is basically a reconciliation, and it ain't going to work. It's not going to work, especially with the devil out here. The devil does speak of manipulation. So this person's going to try to manipulate you in some way, shape, and or form, to feel sorry for them, to feel bad for them, to the point where you'll turn around and basically take this person back, and it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I do feel like this is something that they've done in the past. Like, they could have done something drastic or said something drastic to get you to feel bad and take them back, and it would typically work, but it's not gonna work on you this time around. This person has the only rude awakening that awaits them. It's not even funny. And it's going to be a blow for sure. It's going to be a blow to their ego, and it's going to be a blow to the chest for this person, because they're going to quickly realize that their little games, this little stunt that they're about to pull on you, it's not going to work, and it's not going to prompt you to change your mind. So with that being said, that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.